All right, so here we are with Laura. So, Laura, can you tell us what you do? What kind of coach are you?
So, I'm a pregnancy yoga teacher. I'm based up in Preston and I help women feel really calm, confident, and informed about their upcoming pregnancy and upcoming birth. So, work with women throughout the pregnancy and run classes, pregnancy yoga, and hypnobirthing as well.
Yeah, amazing, super stuff. And when you came to find out about coaching with myself and obviously with the team, kind of you didn't have much of a business at that stage, did you? So, what was the situation, and why were you trying to get help with your business?
Okay, so I think when I did my pregnancy yoga training, I was thinking that that was going to help me create a business as well. Um, I absolutely didn't know the first thing about marketing. And even though I knew I was delivering really good content and classes, I just didn't know how to promote myself at all. I was doing local kind of classes in the community, having
Yeah.
like my flyers, posting flyers in like the doctor's surgery and all the kind of things that I'd been told to do on my pregnancy yoga training, but none of it was really working. I didn't really know how to even speak to people. Now I know I just need to be myself and actually just go out there and speak to people. But I was really struggling, totally frustrated. I'd left a career in teaching as well, so I had that pressure to be able to make it work and to make the money that I was making in teaching. Um, told myself that it wasn't really going to work and I was ready for giving up. Charging £7 for a pay as you go class, and
Oh, that makes me feel
yeah,
ill. Yeah,
yeah, I was like apologising for it, Lucy. Really, I
yeah.
was kind of like, no, come if you want, but don't worry if you can't make it, and don't worry, maybe pay me next week. I totally believe that as a yoga teacher that that's how I needed to be about money, and I felt really icky about money. Wasn't in a good place with all of that, but was getting really good results, and women were like, "Oh, this is great! You know, I've had they were having really positive birth experiences and singing from the rooftops about pregnancy yoga as I always do." But
Yeah,
I wasn't making it. It wasn't sustainable. It wasn't financially sustainable at all.
yeah,
I was just working a little church hall. Didn't want to think big because it felt like too much of a risk.
yeah. And it's really common what you're saying. You know, you go on whatever. You know, we work with all different kinds of coaches. Yours is, for hypnobirthing and pregnancy yoga, and you come out of your qualification all like glassy eyed about, oh God, it's going to be amazing. And unfortunately, a lot of the information you get about actually how to run the business, if you get any at all, is extraordinarily outdated. And it's very, very common to end up in the position you're in where you know you're good at what you do, you're getting good results, but the actual how do I get clients, how do I charge clients, how do I speak to clients, how do I sell to clients is just kind of woeful, really. So you
Yeah,
started
so scary.
coaching with
Yeah,
myself and with the team.
yeah.
What's that been like? What's the process of coaching like? How's it working for you in terms of the actual, how are you different? What kind of support are you getting now?
Yeah, so really personal coaching is what I've had. It's been absolutely amazing, totally life changing, really. And I think the difference with coaching with you guys has been. I was trying to sort of think about this before how to say it, and it's like a one-stop shop. Does
Yeah,
that make sense?
yeah, yeah,
So very often people will be like, oh, well, for productivity, I've got this coach, or for marketing, I've got this coach, and for mindset and money, I've got this coach, and they end up with so many different coaches, and quite a few people now that have been either colleagues of mine or are in like I'm in like a local network for working mums with businesses, and they have all these different people that they're working with, and it becomes really overwhelming. And I feel so lucky to have found you because I feel like it is a one-stop shop. I
mm,
have marketing help. There was someone, David helped me with my website,
yeah,
and I've been to workshops on productivity and video marketing and Facebook,
yeah,
social media. So the coaching has been super broad, and I haven't had to look elsewhere out of this community to find that help. So because I think a real common problem that I see with other people is they'll be on Instagram and you kind of get swayed by other people's Instagram profiles or other coaching. You think, oh, maybe this is the answer, or this is the 28 day program. And the coaching just made me feel really safe that I didn't need to kind of indulge in any of those other things, because I felt like I could trust you guys, and the proof is in the pudding, really. It just works.
Yeah, amazing. Well, and it has certainly worked for you. I mean, now we were just chatting about this. You do about 6 hours a week of actually like working with clients.
Yeah.
And you're making $3.5 grand a month doing your 6 hours a week of just, I mean, that's not even a part-time hours. That's, that's like micro tiny time, and you're making what a lot of people are struggling to make full stop in their coaching business. A lot of people are struggling to even get to $1 grand a month, and you're doing 3.5, doing 6 hours.
Yeah, it's been amazing, really. And I never thought that would be possible when I started. Because, like I say, I'd told myself all these stories, and they were just stories of, you're never going to make this work. It's not a proper job. It's not a real job. You're not going to have a pension. It's too much of a risk. All of these things. And once I'd changed, because I always thought, and this is a bit embarrassing to admit, but I thought coaching, I didn't really know what it was, but I thought it sounded so self-indulgent, all this work on yourself. It sounded so self-indulgent, and so I was just like, just tell me what I need to do. I don't care about that bit. Just what strategy I need. A strategy work. It feels a bit impersonal, maybe as a concept, but actually in reality, it does work, and I feel part of like a global community as opposed to just working with the people kind of 5 minutes away from me. And that doesn't feel that aligned anymore. Actually, we love travel, and we love backpacking and going around the world, and to be able to create something that is going to be around the world with me is like a dream.
Yeah,
really.
Absolutely. And again, because you've done all of this obviously with a toddler in tow, being a full-time mum first and foremost. I mean, and what's it like to be able to obviously contribute to the family earnings in the way that you are, but still being there full-time for little Toby whilst your husband's out doing his thing as well?
It's been amazing. I think we're in the UK at the moment, and I see the struggle, because I that was me when I first had Toby, and I didn't have any maternity pay actually at the time.
Wow.
And we were like, oh my word, we need to do something. We've got a mortgage. And I was genuinely worried until I actually came onto the course, and I thought, no, you're okay now, because it's a bit like, I think coaching with you guys is a bit like being on a train. You get on it, and then you just go in. You're kind of in motion, because you have that accountability every month.
Yeah.
And there's a plan in place every month.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, well, I have to do it. I have to get out of bed and see to Toby and be a mum first and foremost. But when he's gone to bed, I'm like, right, what do I need to do? And I think I would have probably given up if I hadn't have had that, because you're not meant to do this on your own, are you? It's social beings, and we need that
absolutely support. And it's bloody hard if you do try on your own, if you ever manage it at all. But I mean, like I say, here you are earning 3.5 grand a month, working, I say 6, maybe 7 or 8 hours with the social, like you say, still an absolutely fantastic amount of money coming in. I mean, if you chose to work more hours, which I know you don't, but if you chose to, I mean, you could easily be on a 6-figure income if you chose to do more. But I know for you, this is what you want to do. You're like, no, I'm happy with the hours I'm working, which is really exciting.
We've got Toby in an international preschool coming in August. So he turns 3 in August, and then he's going to go full time, which is just crazy for me, because I'm like, well, I'm no longer going to be, I'm not going to be needed kind of Monday to Friday with him. So I'm like, right, I can really expand this now, and I can really turn it into something, because I still feel like even though I've been earning that money, I'm still only playing at it really. You know, I'll do a few emails, and because everything's automated, so everything's been done through sponsored ads. So I've just been kind of collating my list. I invite people for an HVD, and they come along, and most of the actual interaction with them is in person or on the phone, and then it just seems to work. So I've not, like I say, the system's
it's an automated marketing funnel. You know, we've helped you set it up. Once it's set up, it's doing what it's doing. I mean, you still have to actually talk to the person, like you said, to get them to enroll in something, but it's doing its thing. If you want it to get you more clients, you just crank up what you're doing at the front end. So
absolutely, and just repeat it when it's done. It's done.
Yeah, exactly. So lots of people watching this, Laura, because you know, people have never met me and they're like, who's this Lucy chick? She's not on Instagram. I don't see her on Twitter. She does, you know, who is this person? Can I trust her? What's your kind of best advice to these guys? You know, because you've worked with us for a little while now, and you obviously know myself and you know Mark because we've coached you for a while. What's your kind of advice to people who maybe they've watched our webinar, maybe they've even booked a call to find out more about our programs, but they've got that little niggling thing of, can I trust these people? You know, there's a lot of fakers out there. So what's your advice to them?
No, I absolutely think that there are a lot of fakers out there, and I think that's why people feel really wary. And certainly most people that I look through and scroll through on Instagram, and they might have like, I don't know, 2 million followers, and they've got you know, all these books out, and you kind of get really lured in by that.
Yeah.
But most of the time, if you actually follow them, they're on Instagram stories and throughout the whole day. And I'm like, but you're not actually working with clients then, because they're just kind of like, you know, lunching or cocktails. I think they're not relatable. And what is different about you guys is you are just so down to earth, normal people, just so and have done really well for yourself and want to help other people do the same. And it's completely kind of, that's all I can say. It's just down to earth and really natural, and you actually get to know us as people, and I know that you really care, and you know, consider you obviously to be friends. And I would say go for it, because you're not going to find anything. You're not going to find that level of personality and someone who's so personable, who genuinely cares, because most of the time you might be put into someone's kind of latest lavish coaching 28-day change your life funnel, and then get spat out the other end of it. You know, I've even heard like a story this morning of someone that opted into like a 28-day turn your life around coaching, and then is it something for like 20 years or something, and it just doesn't feel genuine and authentic. Whereas I think with you guys, it's just been amazing, kind of just a really down to earth approach where you actually care.
We do. We care, well, because we have to care enough to kick your bum if you're not doing the work. That's a big part of it as well.